Well, I grew up in a family of performing artists, storytellers, dancers, musicians. My dad was a wonderful storyteller. His name was Swift Eagle, or Tsietjami Tewa in his language, from New Mexico. He was from Santo Domingo Pueblo, and he spoke Carson. He had to learn to speak English, but he was an amazing storyteller. My brother, Powhatan, is a storyteller. And so now here I am telling stories. And part of our tradition is we are storytellers when we dance. And so I have danced my stories. And in our stories, we're the character in the story, in the dance, relating to all of the elements around us. And some of those elements include sound and music. And Julia is just a wonderful composer and musician. And I heard her play at the Rail Trail Cafe. And as she was playing, I heard a Navajo song to a story dance. And I could not wait to tell her and talk with her about it. And I'm going to let her continue the story because I've got my own version of how amazing it was. So you go ahead.
Music has been my storytelling life ever since I was a child. And as I continued on the path, I started on the classical path, but then became introduced to the storytelling aspect of playing the harp. And the story and song that I was telling of the fox was amazing. To have Matoaka come up to me, and I did not know who she was, and whisper into my ear, "That reminds me of the Navajo chant." And she sang it in my ear as other people were performing and gave me her card. So it was so great.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yes. So we've been together for 3 years, and it's been lovely to have this duo that has expanded my story and song exploration. As I said before, I grew up with classical music. I was instrumental, but I had the great fortune to attend the Creative Music Studio and meet many master musicians, including the kora player Alhaji Baikanti, and also the storyteller Laura Sims, who I ended up working with for many years. So, and then on my own exploration of poetry and song, setting ancient poetry to music that had their own stories.
And so now, what Julia and I do together is we weave our music and our stories, my native stories and music, with her Indo-European music and poetry. And it is so unique and so beautiful. And we're just really fortunate that we got to meet and collaborate together.
One of the pieces we will do, the mystery, comes from the ancient, really tribal poetry of the Gaelic people. And it is, I am the wind that breathes upon the sea. I am the wave of the ocean, which fits right in with Matoaka's tradition of breath and life.
Yeah. Well, a part of what we do is uh, when I tell my stories, there's usually a part in the story or a few parts where the audience can participate in a song from one of the characters in the stories. And so they become into the story. And it's really fun. And Julia plays the harp behind it, which brings this whole other dimension. Because the idea of storytelling is to welcome people into a different world, a different experience. And together, that's what Julia and I do. And so people can look forward to using their imagination and to becoming part of the characters in the story. And it's just so much fun.
Well, storytelling is one of our original technologies, along with dance and music and silence. And so, for as long as human beings have existed on the earth, that's been a part of our cultures.
So storytelling is a way for, well, originally, a way for people to express their feelings about how they relate to everything around them. And it is so important now for people to experience storytelling, like person to person. Storytelling is a community kind of function. It brings people together to experience something commonly together while still respecting their individual imaginations, their creative minds. But it is a way for people to bond. That's what we need today. We need some bonding. We need some heavy duty glue because what's happening in the chaotic world today is that people aren't relating to one another. They're not relating to the earth and the animals and to what is happening around us. Some people just want to hide, and I can't blame them for that. But with the art of storytelling and dance, music, it helps people to be grounded while at the same time appealing to their dynamic selves so they can be empowered to keep going. That's what's really important. Storytelling is not a performance as much as it is a relationship. A storyteller, a good storyteller, relates to people and makes it personal to them, like not talking at someone. It's finding common experiences and emotions and appeals to our humanity, to our emotions of who we are and why we exist. And that's part of the importance of storytelling. And that's what we hope to achieve with our storytelling, to just say, come on in. We got something to tell you, to share with you. Come in, be on this journey with us together. Let's adventure. Yeah.